Hi students, it's Mrs. Delka and we're going to go through the Geometry DCA review together. So getting started, I wanted to look at the equation that they give us. And so they give us a line segment. We're going to go back here. We're going to start talking about it. So here is this line, and they put, A and B, C, and D. Okay. And going back and looking at it, it says if the ratio of AB to BC to CD is 5:3:2. Okay. Before I move in, A to B is going to be 5. B to C is going to be 3. And C to D is 2. Right? And the way that they write a ratio, they choose to do like the little snake bites here. So we're going to do the same thing. Okay. And they said A to D equals 80. So find out what BC is. So a ratio is just a scale. And they're saying all of this right here is 80. So then they tell us in that question, find B to C for the line segment. All right, so they want to know this right here, what is just this one? Put a little question mark. So we got to set this up. First I need to add up 5, 3, and 2. So 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. So my original scale is 10. I'm going to put it over 80 because that is when they enlarge the scale. So 10 over 80. But then B to C is 3. So we're going to put 3 here at the top because it's a smaller scale. And we need to figure out what number matches up to 80. The best way that I can say that I would like for you guys to do this is to just cross multiply and then solve the equation. So in order to cross multiply, go like this. And 80 times 3, I already know that answer, it's 240. And I cross multiply this way, and I know 10 times x is just 10x. Okay, now let's solve for x by getting x alone, which is something that you learned back in Algebra 1. And so right now the 10 is multiplying to the x, so the opposite of 10 would be, or the opposite of multiplying 10 would be to divide 10. So we're going to divide 10 on both sides. This goes away, and I just get x, because right now x is all alone. It's right here. And then I do 240 divided by 10, which is just 24. So going back to that quiz, look, the answer D shows 24. So that would be how we would solve it, okay? All right, moving on to the next problem. So they tell us here, two angles are complementary. One angle is twice as large as the other. Find the measure of the larger. Okay, let's go and talk about, I'm going to erase this, or can we start like a new one? Give me a second. There, all perfect. Okay, so let's talk about the word complementary. Complementary. Now, we learned back last week complementary and supplementary angles, and we're going to go a little bit further into them this week as well. But any two angles, so we're going to call this one angle A, and we're going to call this one angle B. Any two angles added together equal, complementary means 90 degrees, okay? So they're giving us some sort of equation that's going to equal 90 degrees. So they say one angle is twice as large as the other. So I go back here. One angle is 2 times as large as the other. So we'll just call this one just x. So 2 times x plus x is going to give me 90. Find the measure of the larger angle. So here we go, 90. Well, we need to combine our like terms. So first, 2x plus x is 3x. And then I need to solve for x because now I've got it here. And so I can divide by 3 on both sides because right now the 3 was multiplying to the x, and to get rid of multiplication I need to divide. This makes this go away, and I get x equals 30. Now that's not the large angle, okay? And that's just telling me what the variable x is. If I want the large angle, I need to take this one here and plug in that 30. So 2 times 30, and you can use your calculator on your phone or on the computer, however way you want to do it. But 2 times 30 is 60, and that is the measure of the larger angle. So let's go look to see if that's an answer choice. And here, B, 60 is the answer. And you could even go back and check your answers if you wanted to. I am going to go ahead and clear this one out so we can move on to the next. Okay, clearing that. All right, let's go to question number 3. All right, given that, and I look at it, look, it's a ray, OP, bisects MOE. So MOE, and OP is the ray. The measure of MOP is 10 minus 3x, and the measurement of POE is 12x plus 5. Find MOE. Okay, if it says bisects, that means that this and this are going to equal each other. Even though they're different equations, we're still going to equal those to each other. So it says find the image is not drawn to scale, which makes sense, but we do need these two equations to equal each other. So 10 minus 3x, okay. I'm going to write a little smaller on this one, okay. 10 minus 3x. And again, we're a little behind in our lessons, but we have to take this DCA. So we're going to skip ahead to angle bisectors, even though we haven't gone over those, but that's okay because I'm teaching you how to do them right now. So even if I do this right here, okay, so these two are equal because the angle bisector crosses through, and this was the equation on one side, and this was the equation on the other. Alright, so now we're going to talk about how we would solve this. I like to look at my like terms first, and I see, okay, I've got a negative 3x on this side and a positive 12x on this. It would be easier for me to move that 3x over here than to subtract a big number like 12. So instead of a negative, I'm going to change this to a positive. There we go. I'm going to do that on both sides. Now, we know that when we have a negative and a positive and they are the same, they now go away. Okay? And we just have the number 10 on this side. And I get 15x, because 12 plus 3 is 15, and I got to remember that x, plus 5. Now, I'm not done, because now I need to move my like term of 5, where it doesn't have a variable, over here. It's a positive 5, so I'm going to change it to a negative 5. Subtract it. So here we go. And that's going to get me 5, because look, 10 minus 5 is 5, equals 15x. Okay? Because this right here, a positive and a negative that are the same, they go away. So then now I have 5 equals 15x, and I need to get x alone. In order to do that, I have to divide 15 on both sides because 15 is multiplying to that x. Now I have a really interesting thing going on. So 15 divided by 15 is actually just 1, so I can make that go away. Now I have x equals, well, I've got this equation, or this fraction of 5 over 15, and this is a great fraction, but I need to reduce it. So in order to reduce it, I need to think, what number does 5 and 15 have in common that I could divide them by? And in my mind, I know 5 can be divided into both of those. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. And 15 divided by 5 is 3. So I can come down here and I put 1 over 3. And I can't make that any smaller. And I think I have an answer choice with 1/3, but I'm going to check it. It says find the measurement of MOE. Okay, so we're not done. They didn't say find x. They said find the measurement of the whole angle. So what we've got to do now is come back and plug in that 1/3, which as much as I want to do that, that's very time consuming. So instead I'm going to go to Desmos Scientific Calculator. Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to plug in these numbers. So let me find it. Let's get out of that. Okay. So I've got 10 minus 3, 10 minus 3, and in parentheses, okay, so somehow something paused, but I'm going to clear this because I know that I did this wrong, and it's good that we learn from our mistakes, so clear all. Perfect. Okay. We're going to try this again. Okay. I know that this right here, 5x plus 5 right here, and 2x equal 180. So we're going to try that again. Going back over here. 5x plus 5 plus 2x equals 180. Okay, try it again. Now, I've got a 5x and a 2x, and I can add those together, and I get 7x plus 5, okay, equals 180. Perfect. Try this again. So now, taking this, I have to get rid of the 5 on this side to get x alone. Do this, and I get 175, and over here I can get rid of this completely, because a positive 5 and a negative 5 come out to nothing. So I get 7x equals 175. So I'm going to divide by 7 on both sides. We're going to see if I did the math right, because again, I'm new to all this. Hopefully I did it right. So 175 divided by 7. 25. I was off by a whole 10 points. So that's why. So x equals 25. That's my x. Now I'm not done because the equation calls for angle 3. If I can find angle 1, then I know angle 3 is going to be the same measurement. So I take measure of angle 1, 5x plus 5, 5x plus 5, and I know 5 is going to stay. The 25 will be substituted into the x because we just learned that x equals 25, and add 5. So 5 times 25 is 125. I just know that in my head. I also think about like quarters. 1 extra quarter makes it $1.25. And then I'm going to add that 5 in, and 125 plus 5 is 130. Now if you needed to use the calculator, you're totally fine. There is an answer choice right there at 130. Okay, we'll go ahead and click next. We're going to move on to question number 5. This one says, what is the value of the ones place of the 7th term in the sequence below? Okay, so what's the value? First we need to look at all of the, we're going to come over here. Erase all this so I can get ready to do the next thing. Okay, so I have 3, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4. So first I need to draw those out. 3 to the 0 power. Okay. 3 to the first power. 3 to the second power. Now exponents are a little tricky. Naturally students want to do this. They want to say, oh, 3 times 0 is 3 times 0 is 0. But no, what we're saying is 3 to the 0 power is just 3. 3 times 3 itself, I mean, we're not doing 3 times 1, but 3 to the first power is just 3.